Breaking news from the fabulous world of gaming! That fuzzy-haired painter from public television we all know and love is now in the grid! That's right, kids! In Bob Ross Tycoon, you can become an aspiring artist! Under the tutelage of the man himself, Bob Ross!
Doop, 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 doop. Gotta make those noises.
Build and manage your own art studio set in the majestic mountains. Create beautiful paintings and grow your business. One happy little tree at a time. This new Fortnite Creative game will put players on a quest to expand their virtual painting studio and their imaginations.
And painting should be relaxing. It should take you to a world where there's no worries, there's no hassles.
So, get ready to play! And you too can experience the joy of gaming! When I found out a new Bob Ross video game was about to hit the streets, at first I was like, say what? But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Because artists love gaming, gamers love art, and Bob, he was the OG, a fixture on our old school screens, and doing it all for the love of the game.
And you put as many or as few trees in your world as you want. Now, sometimes it's fun to play some games. Here, I'm going to go to another fan brush and back to that lavender color I had.
So of course I had to get my story. A Bob Ross Tycoon party was in the works, and I had heard through the grapevine that it would all go down in my old stomping grounds, the Empire State. But before booking my one-way ticket to Joyville, I was gonna get to the bottom of all this funny Fortnite biz. And for that, I was gonna have to rely on my wisest ally and my most trusted source.
My name is Anthony Salvatore Domingo. I'm from Bethpage, New York, and I'm 12 years old.
Are you going to be upside down the whole time?
Do you want me to be upside down? I don't know how to change it back now, so.
So you're going to be. How did you get it upside down to begin with?
I clicked a bunch of buttons.
Part of the reason I wanted to talk to you so early in the game is I really don't know anything more than there's a Bob Ross Fortnite Creative game coming out. So with that in mind, what do you think a Bob Ross Fortnite Creative game could be about?
You could walk around a map. There could be different activities to do, and an area where maybe you could be able to draw or paint, or I know sometimes they have showings of TV shows in the game, so maybe you'd be able to watch a Bob Ross episode or something.
I'm going to throw out two names and you tell me if you know anything about them. Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Okay, I've heard of it. I've heard of Tycoons, and not that specific one.
And Farmville.
Okay, yes, I know what that is.
Okay, so that's what the game developers have shared with me so far, is that it's a combination of Roller Coaster Tycoon and Farmville, but just in the Bob Ross universe.
Oh, I think I know what it might be.
Right? So now that you know this, now what do you think
I'll
it's
tell
about?
you what both of those games are.
Yes, please do.
So I don't think I played Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I played some Tycoons, and usually it involves you collecting money, and you use it to buy different parts of the world, or a building or something. So
Right. All right. So
it is Roller Coaster Tycoon. I'm assuming you build a roller coaster.
right. And Bob Ross Tycoon, what would you build? What about a museum? What about
You could maybe build a museum, but Farmville is you collect materials to upgrade your farm. You collect plants and crops to upgrade your farm, get new animals. So I'm thinking it could be museum.
paints, right? You could collect
Yeah, you
paints,
get different paints.
brushes. You can collect different paintings, right? Will you play this game? Will you play Bob Ross Fortnite?
Yeah, I'll probably try it.
If we get advanced access to the game, will you beta test it for us?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%.
Do you know what beta testing means?
I know what beta testing means.
Hopefully we can get you to come to this event that we're going to do. We're going to do a painting class and we're going to demo the game.
When?
In Little Italy. We're going to eat some mozzarella sticks.
Wait, am I actually going to be able to come?
I hope so.
Phase 1 of my investigation was complete. When the rumors of a Bob Ross Tycoon party in New York City were confirmed, I knew it was time to get serious. It occurred to me now that there was only one way to get the true story, the whole story, and that was to enter the belly of the beast.
My name is Wes Day. I live in Manhattan, and I'm a Bob Ross CRI. And I performed in Blue Man Group for 28 years. Since the show closed, I've been teaching Bob Ross landscape classes in and around Manhattan, and it's led me to a lot of different venues. I have a class regularly. I've been teaching at the 14th Street Y. I have a regular gig at Town Hall that I've been doing up in Times Square. And this event is just fantastic because there's just a feeling you get when you're surrounded by Bob's paintings. It's amazing to see, over 28 of his original works hanging on the wall. There's just a certain warm vibe that kind of radiates from the painting themselves.
If you're gonna throw a party to celebrate Bob Ross, you gotta bring some paintings. And these, they're the real deal, made by the man himself.
Look at that. But look at that light glow in there. You can just see the light, it's just filtering through there. I've painted so many paintings, and I still get excited when I see this work. I guess that's the kid in me. It never gets old.
Yep, it's not a party without the classics. But a Bob Bash needs a teacher too. A certified Ross instructor to show the kids how to do it the Bob way.
Being a CRI for me, is really an extension of being a Blue Man. I'm still engaging with people in a way that's about the joy of color. It's about being amazed at your surroundings, and I'm really, really honored to still be doing that with my life. I learned so much by looking at Bob's paintings, and it's amazing to teach a class in front of them because you can just look over and use those as an example of how to do it because he's the master.
And let's just tap in another layer. And in your world, you put as many or as few clouds as you want. It's totally and completely up to you. You are the master of this canvas, and you can do anything here. Anything that you want to do. Of course, I'm a firm believer that you can do anything in life that you believe you can do. Not just on this canvas, but anything, as long as you believe.
If the TV was left on after Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers, somehow on PBS, there it was, Bob Ross painting those happy little trees. I smile when I hear his name, when I see his face. He was an integral part of my childhood, although I never did grow up to be a painter.
Millions of folks love Bob Ross, but not nearly as many believe they can paint like him. At a Bob party, you gotta change some minds too.
Is what you do art?
Radio's an art. We entertain people. We wake them up. We make them happy. We try and make them forget about their problems.
See there? Happy little tree. Happy little tree. Somebody wrote me one time, they said, everything in your world seems to be happy. Absolutely. There's enough sorrow in the world. You can just watch the news if you want to see bad stuff. In this world here, everything's happy.
With guidance from Wes Day, our Bob Ross party painters are ready to move mountains. We'll see how they did a little later. And hey, what about food? Podcasting's hard work, you know. Who can we find who can show us the eats?
Hello, this is Andrew. Welcome to the Bob Ross Tycoon event. We have here our fine selection of munchies and foods. And as a Bob Ross theme, we have the beet hummus, turmeric hummus with the yellow color there, and the fava bean hummus, you know what I'm talking about? I've been playing Fortnite for a while, and I guess this is going to be a new fun addition. Last one I played was the Marvel Doctor Doom one. Why not add a little Bob Ross to it, right?
Sap green, cad yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre. There. Grab a little bit more of the green. Look at that. Did you ever think you could make all these gorgeous bushes that easy? You really can. Really and truly can.
Hello, this is Drew again, the Bob Ross. And we got the games here going on. This is the Tycoon at Live. What we got going on? We got some emotes, we got some emojis, guys? Yeah. Who's doing it? Who's playing it? Who has the controller? You are? Okay, there's our player. And of course, you're gonna see Bob Ross with the dance moves. Check it out. I mean, I can't do it right now, but they got all the dance.
Drew Ross, have you ever been this close to a Bob Ross painting before?
No, it's my first time, and the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, this is the real deal.
I feel like it's moving.
Yeah, I feel like the fresh air is breezing to me because ever since I watched it as a kid, you always watch it on PBS or on TV. I would never thought I could see it in real life. I was like, man, I've been watching these as a kid. I was a proud millennial myself, so watching these and how he made it, I was like, this is the real deal. This is it.
Have you ever attempted to plot in a happy little tree during your life?
Not necessarily painting, but his philosophy definitely. Like I've taken the philosophy of there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. That is life. Like you can't just fall down and just be down about it. You got to get up, you got to get up the next morning and live your day. And
Are you a New Yorker?
yes, I am in Queens, born and raised.
Brooklyn here. This isn't something we really see in the urban jungle, right? So what about the appreciation for nature?
Well, definitely. If you're a city boy, like sometimes you just want to unplug, get out there, be with nature, have some fresh air, go upstate.
Just drop in a huge tree. Let it come right in front of this tree. Don't be afraid of it touching tree. In nature, trees just grow however make them happy. So just drop it in. Don't worry about it touching the other tree or going in front of it. In our world, we can put trees wherever we want them, and we can move them if we want to. We can move them. We can do anything in our world.
Inside this Manhattan space, the joy of Bob permeates the air. Can you smell it? Or is that the fava bean hummus?
My name is Ronnie Rodriguez. I'm originally from the island of Puerto Rico, and I am the owner of Chef's Dinner Table here in Manhattan, New York City. The motto we have around here is, the answer is yes, what's the question?
Okay, Ronnie Rodriguez. The question is, what makes a Bob Ross party a party?
It is a cocktail party with the very special element of being surrounded by original Bob Ross paintings. And not only the originals, but the book version of those paintings, which are extra detailed and extra beautiful.
We get letters from people all over the country saying it's working for them, that they're turning out some of the most beautiful paintings you've ever seen. And they never dreamed they could even paint. And they can, and you can. You really can do this.
His demeanor, his fantastic philosophy that there are no errors, no mistakes, just happy accidents, is a philosophy that transcends his art, and I think is what pretty much binds his followers together. The fact that he's accepting of the curveballs that you get in life, and that we just have to make the best of it. We're all gonna have setbacks, we're all gonna make mistakes. Wouldn't it be better if we called them happy accidents?
That's what's so fantastic about this style of painting. There are no accidents, there are no mistakes. You just work with it and you have fun. Painting should make you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, then you're doing the wrong thing.
Just like a Bob Ross painting, at a Bob Ross party, you can't go wrong. But none of it would be complete without our fave TV painter's favorite things: the friends and the fans.
And he's got a friend right there. See there? Maybe there's a bigger one. Lives right here. They come in all sizes and shapes, all kinds of personalities, just like people.
I was a Channel 13 guy because my parents watched Channel 13. That was a thing. So this dude coming on, at first I was like a little taken aback, but I was like, I went back to him like everybody has. Is what makes it special, because you could still go back and you never can't go back. So I have like deep memories that are conjured up when I see his show now, the recordings. I'm like, oh my God. And my grandmother, she was hemming my pants. I'm standing on the ottoman and we're watching Bob Ross.
On the Samsung TV, Plus, there's an entire channel. And when I need to just zone out, I will put that channel on. It's so wild how even just hearing Bob Ross just automatically brings peace to my entire mood. Yeah, man, he's something else. Just the kind of reach he had being on, think about it, he was just in this Indiana local television station, and just he's an original, like an original public access, and then he's just think about the reach he has.
I do all the time. That's my job.
Yeah. Oh, is that what this is about?
Welcome back. I have my little friend Falky here again today. We've got so many cards and so many people have called in wanting to know about this little devil. Thought I'd show him again. This little rascal is just absolutely gorgeous.
One of the cool things about being the host of the Bob Ross podcast is you get to know people in the wild who love Bob Ross and are cut from the same cloth. And I'd like to think that you were one of those people, Mark Stetson. And as you can see, you're also show the camera your attire.
So I got my Bob Ross T-shirt. Ever make mistakes in life? Let's make them birds. Now they are birds. The first thing I saw was all of these authentic Bob Ross paintings on the wall, which I had never experienced before. You know, I've produced web series about Bob Ross. I've done Twitch shows that were inspired by Bob Ross. I never thought I'd be in the presence of a Bob Ross painting. How much they pop off of the canvas 40 years later is insane. I didn't think it was possible for me to be more impressed and more in love with the art of Bob Ross, and being in the presence of these paintings completely elevates it in a way that I never expected. Like it is truly magical to look at one of his paintings in a way that, like, I don't think many people understand, because not many people have actually been in the presence of them.
And we travel all over the country doing demonstrations for charity groups and PBS stations and all kinds of organizations. So if we get to your neighborhood, come out and see us. Come out and watch a painting being done. I think you'll enjoy it.
Someone out there asked me tonight, they're like, so do you think Bob would like appreciate this? And I was like, yeah, because if there's one thing that Bob proves over and over and over again, like well past his death, is that like he's always going to be relevant. And it just makes sense that finally there is a video game that incorporates him into the tapestry, the fabric of whatever this new zeitgeist is going to be, and which is, Fortnite is massive in that.
Well, we got a whole mess of trees going there. Now they're just going to take a knife, just here and there. I know those are hard to see, but there's little lines in there. We need to brighten this picture up. I'll put some snow in it. That'll zing it.
The hour grows late. The controllers set down. The last of the hors d'oeuvres eaten. And just like our man's public television show, the final moments of this Bob Ross party are all about the afterglow of a job well done.
You are the prime example of somebody who Bob Ross back in the day would say, this guy can paint, even though he probably thinks that he can't. And I asked you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you fall as a first-time Bob Ross landscape painter? Where would your maiden voyage land? And you said
A 4.
Okay, now pick up what you did there. Let's see. I want whoever's watching this right now, I want you to decide in your own mind. Is this a 4?
I think it's more of a 6. Maybe borderline 7.
Now, are you accounting that this is the first time? Is this the first time you've ever picked up a paintbrush, period?
Since kindergarten, yes.
So graded on a curve, I would say it's more like an 8 or a 9. But if we want to just grade it on, hey, you're Michelangelo in another life, this is still better than you anticipated.
Better than I anticipated it would be.
Tell me why.
Basically because when I got in the moment, I was kind of following the instructions of the Bob Ross. I guess he was a Bob Ross student, that guy. He was an instructor.
He's a certified Bob Ross instructor.
He's great at what he does. And when you go step by step and he's explaining it and you break it down to which brush and how they do the strokes, it's hard to screw it up.
Now, the standard in a situation like this is more of a laid-back vibe, whether you're painting along with Bob Ross or you're doing a paint and sip with your girlfriends or something like that. There's a lot going on in this room, and yet you still said that you were relaxed. True story?
True story. There was a lot of activity. In fact, there were people drinking, hanging out at the bar, grabbing some food, and but I was immersed in my painting and getting this landscape right. So I really didn't. Time went by really quickly, and I just didn't think too much of it. It was kind of like I was hypnotized in a way.
You still are.
I know.
Yeah, so I used to watch him when I was little on like PBS, right? And then
Show the camera. Show the camera.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to look at it. But no, I used to paint with my aunt. She was very creative, so she got his whole kit, and we painted together. Had a lot of help from her.
Where will this painting wind up?
Oh man, I don't know. I think this one's gonna go in my bedroom. I think that's the wall that I have left.
Mine is probably going to go to work with me, and I'm going to put it by my desk. I'm actually going to put this.
They gave you a desk?
I have a desk. I have a desk and a window, and this is going to go on the windowsill, and this is going to be because I want people to ask, and I want them to know about I'm going to spread the gospel of Bob Ross. I want anyone who passes by that desk, and it's a high traffic area. I want them to ask the question so I can lure them in and start the conversation about how I painted for the first time, a Bob Ross style landscape, and that maybe they should try it too.
Spreading the gospel of Bob Ross? Starting a conversation about the joy of painting? That's what it's all about. It's why we're here, and it's what we do. And whether in the big city, in your small town, or out there in cyberspace, in the grid and on your screens, it's an honor to be a happy little part of the legacy of a legendary creative, and to witness the enduring joy of our favorite encouraging artist.
Anytime that you learn, you haven't wasted your time. And painting is like everything else. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the better you get, the more confidence you have. And half of painting is just being confident. Just believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it, because you can. You really can. You can do anything.
The old clock at the party tells me we've got another finished podcast episode. I want to thank my guests, Wesley Day, Skiri Jones, Ronnie Rodriguez, Anthony Salvatore Domingo, and all the fine folks who we talked to at the Bob Ross Tycoon Party in NYC.
Food, which we still both have an interest in, and we're in Little Italy, and we've already had some sausage.
Special thanks to our friends at Robin Inslee Associates for coordinating our event in Little Italy, and to the folks at Chef's Dinner Table for their hospitality. This happy little episode was co-produced and edited by James Shapiro at Jansen Media.
You will hear an abbreviated version of this conversation in our Bob Ross Fortnite Creative Game episode. None of the dancing. Well, maybe we'll find a way to incorporate the dancing into the podcast episode.
Support your local public television station and say thanks for giving us Bob Ross and the joy of painting. We want to see your paintings. Use #PaintLikeBobRoss. Bob Ross certified instructors are the only ones that know how to teach you Bob's world-famous painting method. Don't settle for second best. Find a local CRI at bobross.com and then click Take a Class. Got your own Bob Ross story to tell? Leave us a message at 866-FANBRUSH or email us at podcast@bobross.com and follow us on Instagram at @BobRoss_The Joy of Painting. I'm Ron Scalzo. The Joy of Bob Ross is written and produced by me, Ron Scalzo, in partnership with Bob Ross, Inc. Bob Ross name and images, they're registered trademarks of Bob Ross, Inc.